Well, good morning, everybody. So I was going to do a little video this morning. I went to the gun store day before yesterday and bought a brand new Smith & Wesson Model 629. So that doesn't seem very interesting and not even like content worthy to me. So here's a gun, a brand new gun. When I got it home, I didn't have, when I went to the store, I asked them, well, I called them before to see if they had one, and they said they did. And so I went up to Salt Lake's about, Salt Lake City, Utah. It's about 2.5 hours from where I live. So had a couple other things up there going on. So I decided to go up there and go pick this 629 up. So I got there, looked at it. You know, I had a big day ahead of me. I didn't spend a lot of time there. I thought, I already own another one of these, or my son does. So I knew what I was buying. I didn't think there was a lot of time to sit and to examine it too close. But so I get home and I got looking at it. And if you guys are familiar with Smith & Wessons, inside the frame right there, I don't know if you can even see that, but it's 629-6. I think modern manufacturers of the Smith & Wessons, they're like up to a -10 right now. So when I got home and seen that was a -6, I thought that was very interesting. So I got on the internet, of course, and everything you read on the internet's true, that this manufacturer was from 2001 to 2005, I believe, is when the -6s was. So I thought, here I am in 2022, going to the store and buying a brand new gun that was essentially 20 years old. So I called the shop and I asked questions about it. Of course, gun stores are very detail oriented in their record keeping. So they looked it up and they said they'd received that gun to their shop mid-July. So they've actually owned the gun 4 or 5 weeks. The guy that I was talking to at the store there was, I mean, shocked to say the least. That this is essentially a 20-year-old gun for our conversation that I bought brand new. I'd like to know the history of this gun. So I know the new modern manufacturer, Smith & Wesson revolvers, have sleeve barrels. This guy does not have a sleeve barrel. I actually owned a Model 69 for a while, and it had a sleeved barrel. That gun wasn't the right fit for me. I wanted the 6-shot, the bigger frame, so I just let it go. So the gun is unfired. I mean, I don't know how well you guys can see the cylinder faces. The gun, I mean, I'm 100% confident the gun's unfired. If anybody knows these stainless guns, it is almost impossible to get that discoloring off the cylinder face. You shoot this gun 6 times and it'll be discolored right there. Look down the barrel. I'm 100% convinced this gun is unfired. So very interesting that you buy a brand new gun from a very reputable gun shop, been in business for, I'll tell you more about that shop here in a minute, but been in business for 40 or 50 years, been around a long time. And do I think that there's something fishy going on? I don't. I just would like to know the history on this gun. Very, very strange. You know, when the day I bought it, I didn't have my reading glasses with me. I couldn't have read what the dash was anyway. Maybe one of them young kids helping me could have, but I didn't even think about it honestly. I thought, oh, it's a -9 or -10. That's what the modern manufacturer's been. So could this gun have been sitting on the shelf in some distributor's back warehouse somewhere for all these years? I don't know what else to think besides that. Part of me thinks that in today's world, these revolvers are almost so hard to come by that they're digging deep in their warehouse. And maybe for the last 20 years, they've been, you know, this gun got set on the back shelves and they didn't rotate the inventory. And as they get new, they stack in front and sell it. You know, I mean, anybody who's worked in a warehouse knows that, you know, that's pretty easy could happen. So anyway, I haven't shot the gun yet, but I wanted to share that with you to have somebody chime in. I mean, I feel like I know a little bit about Smith & Wesson revolvers, not definitely an expert by any stretch on them. They great guns. You know, I've owned several. My son owns he actually owns a 629-1. I should have brought that out just to show some comparison. My son's actually has a firing pin on the hammer, and the stuff that I've read about them is the -1s are exquisitely made. But somewhere, I believe it was in the mid-90s, they started putting what they call the endurance package on there. I think the springs are just a little bit more robust. I read one article they was talking about they changed the heat treating process on the frames to give them just a little bit more strength. I think that occurred sometime in the mid to late 90s. I hope somebody watching this knows. I'd be curious and can leave some comments about that, because I truly don't know. Like I say, I've owned several Smith & Wessons. I'm not an expert by any stretch. I mean, finish and feel of a Smith & Wesson double action revolver is pretty much in a class all of its own. I'm a big Ruger guy. I mean, you guys have seen some of my Ruger videos. Boy, Rugers are tanks. There's no two ways about it. Even the double action revolvers, GP100s, Red Hawks, Super Red Hawks, man, you can't hardly hurt them with a sledgehammer. But the Smith & Wesson is a little bit more refined, I believe. So anyway, the purpose of this gun is to carry on the mountain. I'm not going to be shooting, I've got a hot load developed for 44s. I'm going to do a video on that here in the next few days. I got an elk hunt coming up. The bullet is a 315 grain hard cast gas check bullet. I got a load developed with 2400. It's going about 1200 feet per second. That's about as hot a gun as I need. That load will never be shot in this Smith & Wesson. I don't believe these guys are really designed for that type of abuse. I don't have an interest in doing that. I've got a Ruger 10-inch barreled Super Blackhawk that they put a Bisley grip frame on. I did a video on that. It's been several months ago, but that's a heck of a shooting gun, and that gun can take those loads. I think I could probably shoot that load in that gun for the rest of my life, and until my arms and wrists give out, never damage a gun. I don't believe the Smith & Wesson could take that type of hot loads. So anyway, the load I shoot in this, I'll do a video on that, but when I shoot the video, I'll explain the load. But it's a home cast, original Keith bullet. It's out of a Lyman 429, 421 mold. Cast them at home. They're made out of wheel weights. I've chronographed them in a 7-inch barrel. They're going about 950. Very moderate load. Almost what you'd say is a 44 special load in a 44 case. That's plenty of gun. I actually killed a deer with that load this year. I was a little disappointed on the performance of it. I took the deer clean, shot him, hit him first shot. He didn't tip right over like I was hoping he would, but it was a clean harvest of the animal. So I got confidence in that load for just an everyday carry load. I carry a gun on the mountain with me every time I go, mostly for lions. We have a few bears up there, and the bears kind of come and go. Heard of a few of the neighbors seeing some bears on the mountain this year, but it's lions. We've had a few run-ins up there, and of course a 44 special is plenty of gun for a lion. But so anyway, so I'm going to talk about the gun shop a little bit. I asked for permission if I could use their name on this video, and they agreed to it. It's called Gallenson's, and it's in downtown Salt Lake City. Honestly, guys, their gun inventory was absolutely incredible. We have a local sportsman warehouse. We have a couple local shops that do a pretty good job. We have 2 Cabela's in Utah. Their gun inventory is poor. Hate to be negative about Cabela's. I've done a lot of business there over the years, but their gun inventory doesn't even hold a candle to this Gallenson's. In the description below, I'll put their address and contact information. But I'll tell you guys, if you're looking for just about anything, they probably have it. I called several shops the day before I went to Salt Lake, and I couldn't find a Smith & Wesson 629. Go to Gallenson's. They had a 3-inch, a 4-inch, a 5-inch, a 6-inch. They had a 29 and an 8 3/8. Boy, their inventory is just absolutely unreal. A couple young men that helped me at the gun counter. They're younger guys. Of course, just about everybody's younger than me, but very knowledgeable about guns. A young lady there that was very helpful. Their ammunition supply, they literally had pallets of ammunition. Unreal. They had a full pallet of 17 HMRs. I shoot a few 17 HMRs or prairie dogs and stuff around here, and they've been difficult to find. These folks had a pallet of them. 22 ammo, just about every ammo you can think of they had. So anyway, we try to support these local mom and pop shops, so to speak. I mean, Gallenson's, there is one store on the earth. It's not like a big chain like Sportsman's or Cabela's or Bass Pro Shops. So I try to support those folks. The price on this gun was very reasonable. They had just about every brand of gun that you can imagine. CZ, Springfields, Colts, yeah, just about anything I would want. So I'm not being paid to say this. I just I appreciate a good retail store, and they do a good job up there. So if you're ever in Salt Lake, or if you're looking for a gun, I'm sure that they can ship probably anywhere in the country. You know, of course, to FFLs between shops and such. But yeah, look them up. Yeah, great folks there. Like I say, prices were good. I looked at several other guns, and their prices were right in line. They have quite a few higher end stuff. You know, I've recently become a pretty avid CZ guy. I'm going to do a video on a new gun that I bought recently, a CZ P07. But they had a whole rack of CZs. Had some real high end custom stuff. Anyway, it was a good experience. Good folks there. So, alrighty, well, gonna wrap this up and go get busy on the farm here. So. Please leave some comments on experience with these Dash 6s. If anybody knows more about them, you don't have to know much about these to know more than I do, because I really don't know that much about them. But yeah, I mean, almost fascinating to me that I can buy a brand new 20-year-old gun. So anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Please leave some comments. Have a good day.